A problem I've had a number of times over the years on different showers is as they start getting dirty and calcify up inside, it gets really difficult to turn on or off. Or like in my case, it's really difficult to change the temperature, especially if your fingers are wet. I always get an early warning on this because my wife is the first to tell me. So today I'm going to show you how to disassemble a standard shower, take out the cartridge, clean it all up without having to buy a new one, and then reassemble it all correctly. So essentially I end up with a brand new working shower without spending any money. Well, hey! My shower is 5 or 6 years old, and just like everyone else's shower these days, it gets abused every day of the week. And although the outside I can clean up and polish up pretty easily, it's the inside in the cartridges where limescale is now building up that the problem is now starting to show itself. So I'm going to take those cartridges out so I can clean them properly. Now, I'd normally do that with everything in situ, but you're going to find it difficult to see what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually dismantle the shower and take it into the workshop. To isolate the shower, I turn off the main stopcock and then drain the water down to that level through the sink. I'm sure I have isolation valves on the shower, but if I do, they're going to be up in the loft and I just find it easier to do it this way. I firstly dismantle the shower head and the chrome pipework, although I wasn't ready for the residual water that was left in the pipe. And here's a little tip for you when you're undoing these chrome nuts, because you don't want to scratch them. So either wrap them in insulation tape or a little bit of cloth, or purchase an adjustable spanner that's got rubber jaws. I'll put a link to this in the description below. This spanner is really good at what I call general DIY. However, if you've got a nut that's absolutely solid, then these rubber jaws are just going to deform and turn, which means you're going to have to take them off and do it in the traditional way. That's not very good. Gaping blooming holes to the back of the tiling. Gonna have to fill that. As I said just now, if I wasn't filming this, I wouldn't take this off. There's no point. You can actually do everything you need to with it in place. But if I'm filming it, it's just easier to take it off so you can see what I'm doing. And the first thing you'll notice is just how much limescale is on all of this, because the top bit obviously gets clean, but the underside not so much. So that's something I'm going to have to sort out as well. So let's get on and take this cartridge out. And the first thing we have to do is take this top off. And there's a little hole there that you can see with a little plastic cap that just I can take out. And then inside there I've got a screw which I can undo. Limescale falling off the blooming thing as I speak. So the screw comes out, and then I've got this temperature control, which I need to understand exactly where it is. I'll tell you why later, because it really does make a difference which way this goes back on, because of this control here that stops it getting too hot. But we'll talk about that in a minute. That is the safety feature that stops it going too hot without pressing the button. And if you notice, that was that way up, so that's something with this notch at the top, so that's something I need to remember. And then we get to the cartridge, which is the important bit. Now there's different types of cartridges. Some have a sort of nut here that you can actually clamp onto and unscrew. This doesn't have anything, so if we have a look around, there we go, there's a little nut there that we need to undo. It's all a little bit calcified up. There we go. Now if this was in the shower, you've got to be really careful you don't drop that and lose that down the plug hole, else that will make your day very bad. Now with that removed, I should be able to persuade this to come out. It's gradually coming. There we go. There we go. That is our cartridge. So this is a typical temperature cartridge. Essentially, one of these is hot and one of these is cold. And inside there's a valve that sort of moves to adjust how much hot and cold water runs through this. There's a nut on the end, which we should be able to undo. There we go. With a spring inside that looks a bit like that. And then this is like a plunger. You can take this out actually. And that moves backwards and forwards across those two grills. This is perforated so the water goes through. And that adjusts hot and cold water with a sort of plunger inside there that regulates the temperature and then sort of moves this backwards and forwards. So the good news is all of this is looking fairly clean and tidy. All the seals are quite nice. There's an O-ring there and there's an O-ring there, and I don't think there's any need to replace any of that, so that's good news. The problem is sort of in here, so we need to take this apart in here and then get rid of all that limescale. So I'm just going to take this circlip off. And then that can just pop out. And this is what we're talking about now. You know, there's a lot of gunk in here and there's a lot of limescale build up. And all of this is really going to actually cause it to, there's the adjustment on the hot and cold. And it's that thread there, like you can see all of this. And that's what I need to get rid of. If I can get rid of that and put a little bit of silicone grease on it, then we should be away. So just for completeness, I'm going to do the same on the inlet valve. This for me diverts water either up to the shower head or to the secondary shower head. I haven't got a problem with this, but I'm just going to show you what the cartridge looks like anyway. This is a little bit more crusted up, but once again it's got that same little hole. There we go. Now this time we haven't got any hole and any Allen key or grub screw in there, but you can actually see we've got a great big sort of nut on the outside, so that is what's holding it in. Take that off, that just unscrews. Then the whole thing should be able to be wiggled out. I can do that by hand. And this is just very much an on-off type valve. Once again, the O-rings look pretty good. So I'll just give that a soak, clean out any limescale, but it's working pretty freely anyway, so I'm not too worried about this one. Here I'm using a multi-purpose descaler that's good for kettles and irons and all of that sort of stuff. I'll put a link in the description below. And I start off with each piece just giving it 100% dose before filling up my tray. I then top it up with water to about a 1 in 4, 1 in 6 dilution, and then leave it to sit for a couple of hours. And spoiler alert here, I was really surprised how well this multi-purpose descaler actually worked on all my chrome. I would definitely recommend it. So while that is fizzing and festering in there, that is really quite strong, really important for eye protection and gloves for this one. I'm going to go back upstairs and do the same for the shower heads and the pipes, all the chrome on the shower. For my pipe sections, I use the old trick of wrapping some tissue around it and then soaking that. So rather than just running down or evaporating, the pipe is actually getting a good dose of this descaler. Halfway through my 2 hours of soaking, I did give everything a light brush and really surprised to see that most of the limescale had already come off by then. With the solution tipped out and exchanged for water so everything had a good rinse, I can now dry everything off and reassemble it all. As the O-rings were in such good condition, I didn't bother changing any of them, although I've got a box of O-rings just ready in case if I need to. And this is the trick to make sure none of this leaks and everything moves as it should, and that is to use silicone grease on all of the O-rings and all the moving parts as well. If you're going to do any plumbing like this, just go and buy a tube. It's only a few quid, and I would definitely stay away from Vaseline that could in time damage your O-rings. Oh, look at that, nice and smooth. Before I reassemble it on the shower, I just make sure that those voids are filled with silicone. With everything reassembled, I can put the plastic caps back on the hot and cold feeds, then reattach the main mixer, and then reassemble all my pipe work, which is pretty easily done and is now looking a lot shinier than it used to. So there's just one more thing I need to do, and that is to calibrate the thermostat to work out exactly when this button should be pressed to go really hot. This is a safety feature so children don't scald themselves. Now there's two ways of doing this. There's the formal way where you get a thermometer and try to relate the temperatures with these numbers on the side. And then there's a way that I'm going to do it, which is just to run the hot water and adjust it hot and cold until I think I've got to the point where I need to press that in to go really hot, and then just fix it at that point. There's no children in the house, so I think we'll be safe enough with that. But before I do that, the last thing I have to do is turn the water back on. With the water back on, I run the hot water through until the temperature stabilises, and then keep adjusting it to the point where it's really hot but not scalding. I can then take my cap off and put it back on, making sure that anything beyond that requires a press of the button. There we go. I think that's just about as hot as I want it before you need to decide that it wants to be any. That's pretty hot now. So all I need to do is pop the screw back in, pop this back on, and that is job done and looking and working like a brand new shower. So plenty of brownie points from my wife. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.